Now, the team that is investigating the Trump campaign's ties to the Russian government has just hired another high-profile lawyer. Now, Politico is actually reporting that an attorney that was working on the Justice Department's highest-profile case had recently transferred off of that assignment in order to join the staff of the special prosecutor investigating the Trump campaign's potential ties to the Russian government. Now, this attorney is named Kyle Freeny. Now, Freeny is the 16th lawyer to join Mueller's team. They now have 17 lawyers. However, I just want to remind everybody, it's probably just a big nothing burger, right? No, it turns out the hiring is actually a pretty big deal since, of course, money laundering happens to be Kyle Freeny's specialty. Politico explains, before being detailed to Mueller's team, Freeny was shepherding the Justice Department's headline-grabbing effort to seize profits from The Wolf of Wall Street. Now, that was a film. It was a pretty good film. Now, they want to seize the profits on grounds that the film might have been financed with assets looted from the Malaysian government. So this seems like a crazy case, right? But it would be a case of money laundering in order to finance this film. And of course, she was the lead prosecutor on this case. So it seems like money laundering is kind of what she does. Now, Freeny, sorry. Now I think of Mr. Freeny from Boy Meets World. Freeny had withdrew from the Wolf of Wall Street case on June 26th. Court records show shortly before many of Mueller's attorneys joined his team in early July. The Justice Department, interestingly enough, built the Wolf of Wall Street case as a product of the Kleptocracy Asset Recovery Initiative. Now, what this is that it's an effort to pursue the proceeds of foreign corruption and return the money of that corruption to the public in the affected countries. That's very interesting. I've never heard of that program, but it seems like the aims are really good. Yes, you want to take money back that was, ill-gotten, right? The ill-gotten gains from this corruption and put it back to the people. It seems like a very worthy aim. So that's what she was doing before joining on to Mueller's team. Seems like we've been seeing a lot of high-profile prosecutors and lawyers jumping away from these kinds of cases to join the Mueller team. Interesting. Now, here's where these two cases are related if you haven't gotten it already. Justice Department officials, including former Attorney General Eric Holder, had announced that the same kleptocracy project is now probing the transfer of assets overseas by Ukrainian officials, including former President Viktor Yanukovych. Now, I wonder why they would need another high-profile lawyer that specialized in money laundering, especially when she also had ties to this case that was looking into money laundering from Ukraine. Where is the common theme here? Where's the common? What links these two things? Oh, right, Paul Manafort. Now, Paul Manafort, turns out he was a consultant to Yanukovych. But hey, look, when being a consultant to Yanukovych or whatever, nothing sketchy in that in itself. However, it gets a little sketchier when you consider the fact that his firm had belatedly filed a report with authorities disclosing millions of dollars from that in payments from that firm for essentially lobbying on behalf of the Ukraine government. And in the middle of this investigation, again involving money laundering, that raises a few eyebrows. Especially considering that firm's warm relationship with I can't say Yanukovych. I just had it. And look, considering these ties with all these different people and all these different organizations with the Trump campaign, that happened to be very warm. Okay, so and look, not only that, but they're looking into the propaganda that the Russians had used Facebook for to put out during the campaign to try to swing voters for Trump. You tie these in, a lot of this goes back to Paul Manafort. Now, maybe it seems a little weird that they're focusing so much on money laundering. However, I think it's because real estate allows for massive transfers of money to go nearly undetected. If you're funneling money, you would funnel it through real estate. It's actually a very simple way to launder large amounts of money. It's been used a lot in New York. In fact, there have been American and Russian mob figures that have used real estate to launder millions and millions of dollars into American accounts. Now, given some of the other campaign officials and friends of Trump and Manafort have a history of money laundering and criminal activity, for example, Felix Sater, Felix Sater, this guy actually did time for money laundering, and he happened to live in Trump Tower as well. So there's a lot of different threads that connect to the Trump campaign. So I guess it makes sense that Mueller would hire lawyers especially suited to look into that kind of financial corruption to see whether or not there is a deal between those different entities. So either way you look at it, this is an interesting addition to the probe, and it shows that this Russia investigation has turned into something very, very serious, and that the Trump campaign and that Paul Manafort should be very, very worried. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.